everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So it's Friday, so that means it's my upload day. I just wanted to, before I start, I wanted to say a huge thank you to Jade because she suggested that I do this video that I'm doing today, and I've always wanted to do something like this video, but I've never really done it, and I just think because it's coming up to like all the events that I'm going to and everything, I thought I'd do a video all about my top tips for going, well, this one's a bit more specific about going to concerts, so I may do another one if this one gets like good reviews, and I might do another one on like, I don't know, like top tips for going to the theatre or going on a day out or something. So yeah. But yeah, I just wanted to say thank you, Jade, for this idea because it's great and I love it. So yeah. So I think I'm just going to get started because there are quite a few tips. So I've actually got about 15 and I will be talking about them in a bit of detail. So this video could be quite long, so sit back, relax, grab a drink, grab a snack, and let's get to it. So, tip number 1, I think, is one of the most important ones, and it's to sign up to mailing lists. So, if you have a favourite artist, for example, or someone you've always wanted to see live, and a mailing list is usually found on their website, or if they have announcements, that's what they announce them on, so they'll send an email and they'll do like exclusive stuff just for them people. So in a way it's like your own little fan club almost. I'm signed up to so many, and the amount of stuff you get, like news, you get to know like about songs, about music videos, everything, competitions, like it's really good and I highly recommend signing up to them. Also, I definitely think you should follow all of your favourite people on social media because I know a lot of people are against social media, and yes, it has its negatives, but I definitely think, especially when it comes to people announcing tours, social media is a great way to do this because it's such a huge platform and you just get to find out about stuff first, and it's great, and all artists just announce them now on social media. So if you have a favourite person, band, and you're not following them, make sure you do, because then you'll be able to see the tour dates as soon as they're dropped and then plan from there. Because honestly, like the amount of tours I've seen on social media that have been announced and then I've just been like planning ahead, and yeah, it's definitely worth it. So yeah, highly recommend you do these because for example, I heard about Derren Brown Showman at Bradford on social media. I just saw an advert for it and I was like, right, book tickets. So definitely do it because it is worth it, defo. And sometimes as well, if you sign up to like a mailing list, sometimes, I don't know if this is more for like theatres or like events like Disney on Ice, for example, but if you're like a priority customer, you can get money off as well, because I think with Disney on Ice I got like £3 off each ticket or something, and it's always worth it to check that out to see if there are any like discounts, or if you work for the NHS or anything like that, definitely check it out because it's worth it. Okay, so tip number 2 is another big one. Always sign up to get pre-sale to see your favourite artists and bands. I cannot stress enough how important this is. Like, pre-sales are just, in my opinion, they are way easier to get tickets, especially if you want to be close. Because whenever I go to a concert, I know some people like to go for like the atmosphere and don't really care how close they are. But for me, I prefer to be as close as I can be. If there's VIP, if there's like a meet and greet, I'll get it. And just, yeah, I just think it's a lot better for me and for vlogging and stuff. But general sale can be quite stressful, because I find with the pre-sale, sometimes it is limited, but other times, like, it's good and you get quite a lot of options. General sale is stressful because you don't really go in a waiting room for a pre-sale. Some people do, and that makes it quite stressful, but general sale for me is always a big no-no. I don't like doing general sale. Like, if there's a band and they don't have a pre-sale, I'm always a bit like, oh god, does that mean I'm gonna miss out? But yeah, and it's always gone well for me pre-sale. Like, for example, with Union J's tour, I originally had Manchester 4th row meet and greet as well, and that was on O2 Priority, but O2 Priority wasn't showing front row for Manchester, so I checked another site. I think it was Live Nation, or was it Ticketmaster? I think it was Live Nation, and I just looked on there and I found 2 front row seats for Newcastle. So that's another tip actually. It's 2 tips in one. Make sure you check out other sites. Like, if, like, some places do like pre-sale, but they use like AXS, Live Nation, Gigs and Tours, Ticketmaster, C Tickets as well, they're quite good. So don't just, because some have like venue pre-sale, some have artist pre-sale, O2 Priority. Make sure you check them out, and yeah, don't be afraid to ask people you know if they have O2 Priority, for example, to just ask if you can use their information. I mean, you don't pay using their card, you pay using your own, but you just have to like log in, so you need their details. So I would highly recommend that. Okay, so tip number 3. Make sure you plan travel in advance, as it can make it a lot cheaper. This is very important, especially if you're going somewhere quite far away and you're going by train, for example, or coach. So especially with the trains, because whenever I go to a concert or anything that's quite far away from me, because I don't drive yet, so I find it easier, and because I've got a rail card, which I need to upgrade, because I've got a rail card, it means I get 1/3 off my train ticket, so it's a lot cheaper, and I also get there a lot quicker, I find, and it's just easy. But it is so much cheaper if you book it more in advance. Like, if you book it on the day, it can be, well, like £10 more than if you book in advance. I know you can only book like, is it 16 weeks in advance or something? I think it's not much, or it may even be like 12 weeks in advance, but it is so good to do that. So definitely plan travel way in advance, because it's worth it. Okay, so tip number 4. If you are travelling by car and park at the venue, take a photo of where your car is, especially if it's busy. So this is a great tip, I think, especially if you're going to a stadium and the only way you can get there is by parking, because some stadiums have like loads of NCP car parks around. so they'll have them near the venue or just a short walk away from the venue. And these can get full up very fast, and they can get super busy. There's nothing worse than coming back from a concert, you're tired, your legs ache, your body aches, and then having to find the car in a big car park and then losing it. So this is a tip I always use. I've made the mistake before of not doing this, and having to search for the car was just a nightmare. So I highly recommend it. It's especially a good tip. I know this isn't about holidays, but we always do this when we fly and we stay in like the long stay car park, and we take a photo of where the car is and then the number of the like parking area you're in, and that is so helpful when you come back and know where the car is, because you can just go straight away. So highly recommend you do this if you're travelling in a car. Okay, so tip number 5, we're getting there. Pre-plan accommodation. So what I mean by this is any accommodation, so like Airbnb, hotels like Travelodge, Premier Inn, Ibis, Holiday Inn, whatever other companies there are. Definitely, again with these, book them way in advance. I have made the mistake before of just not booking anywhere, and then all of the hotels have been booked up, and then I've been like, what am I meant to do now? And then having to book a hotel that's quite far out the way, and then you have to like rely on taxis, Ubers, and it's just a pain. So I definitely recommend, if you're going to a concert and you don't really want to travel back, book a hotel, but do it way in advance. Do it months and months in advance. Like, we have just booked our holiday, booked our hotel for Newcastle for Union J. It's only January, and it's not until the 25th of May is when we're going. And it's good, and especially hotels like Premier Inn, Travelodge, you can offer to pay on the day. Or if you're worried about like spreading the cost, you can also do PayPal Pay in Free, which is a great thing to do. And if you just don't want to pay it all off at once, pay it off in monthly instalments, and because it just makes everything more affordable. So work out what's best for you and what you want, if that makes sense, and just do it that way. So yeah. Okay. Tip number 6. Now this should be obvious. Tip number 6 is very important. I think it's probably one of the most important ones, but wear comfy shoes. There is nothing worse, and believe me, I have seen what some people wear to a concert, and I've just thought, why? Just why? For example, I went to see the Vamps in, I want to say it was 2016, in Manchester Arena, and we were like, this was when my mum booked tickets, and we were like right at the top, right at the back, and I saw this woman, and she had quite a few drinks, and she was I'll say she was tipsy at this point, and she had the highest heels on, and I was just thinking, what is the point? Because you can't really dance. Like, she couldn't jump up and down either, and with a Vamps concert, that's all you really do. So like, every time I go to a concert, I just wear trainers, I wear platforms, I wear pumps, like, I just try to be comfy. And I mean, I guess I am wearing boots to Union J, but they're just so comfy, the shoes I'm wearing, and I just know that it's going to be so good to wear something just sort of new. So yeah, that'll be nice. Okay, so tip number 7, sort of similar to the last one, but make sure you wear comfortable clothing. So just anything that you think is suitable for that certain concert, that certain event. So if you're going, well, I am sort of dressing up for Union J because the venue's quite swanky. It looks quite posh in comparison to some that I go to. So I thought I'm going to make the effort and I'm going to dress up. But other concerts I go to, I mainly wear like bodysuits, jeans, my sparkly little mixed trousers. I always try look nice for a concert, but I just want to wear something that's comfortable for me, comfortable enough to move around in, dance around in, just, yeah. And like none of my outfits are really expensive either. I just think like if I go out for a meal before, I might like spill something on me, so I need to wear something that can be easily washed, so it's not something that's going to cost me a lot of money. So yeah, so always check out places like Vinted, eBay, even Pre-Loved, Facebook Marketplace, Shein. They're really good as well, and they do have a UK site, so stuff comes quicker as well. But definitely just wear something that you think you'll be comfy in, and don't really care what other people think, because I used to, and I was always afraid of getting judged, but now I just don't really care, to be honest. So I just wear what I want and what I'm comfy in and go with that, and yeah, so cool. Tip number 8. I know sometimes this one's a bit hit and miss, literally, quite literally in some cases, because it's like a just don't for me. It's a big no-no. And it is this: do not throw any items on stage, as it can be dangerous. Like, I hate it when people throw stuff on stage. Like, I know sometimes, like at the Vamps, people were throwing on their sunglasses, and I get people just wanted the boys to wear them, but it's just ridiculous. Like, I don't like it. I never have. I just think, what is the point? Like, I've been at a festival before, North East Live, back in 2014, I want to say, and Jessie J had to like stop the show and stop her set because people were throwing bottles and people were getting hit, and it was just too dangerous, and she had to get people to stop. So yeah, it just wasn't very fair. It's not fair on the artist, it's not fair on the rest of the crowd, so just don't do it, because I just think it's bad etiquette, it's bad, it just annoys me, and yeah, so just don't do it. It's stupid. Rant over, okay. Tip number 9, yeah, I was right. Okay, so tip number 9: bring a bag with you to the concert. This is, well, it's basically common sense, like, but it's so obvious, because everything about this, it's just, you need a bag to put your stuff in. You just do. But the only thing about this is you can't take, I know if you go to an arena it's a bit different to like a smaller venue, but you can't take massive bags in. So I would highly recommend getting a bum bag, because it's more secure. So if you feel a bit like you don't want to take like a mini backpack or a crossbody bag because it will get in the way. Just get a bum bag, clip it to your back. You've got your bag right in the front of you. If you need to get something out your bag, unzip it, get it out, zip it back up. It's easy. And like, my go-to bags for a concert are bum bags. Like, they are just, I don't know what I'd do without my bum bags. I literally love them. And I take them to every concert. And if you just want a cheap one, again, just look on Vinted, because I have found a perfect one for Union J. And it's just literally a bum bag, yellow, simple. And it's just a nice little bag. Like, you don't have to take a massive, like, bag. You don't need one. Because all I really put in mine is my phone, my card, a portable charger, any products if I need them, just anything. Like, it's handy, it's there, it's accessible. So definitely, top tip, get a bum bag. Don't splash out all your cash on one either, get a cheap one. Okay, so tip number 10. This is a tip from me that is like top of the list. And I would highly, highly, highly recommend that anyone watching this video, if you haven't got this, then get it. Because tip number 10, buy a portable charger. Like, for example, if, I don't know, you've got a taxi booked and you need your phone to see like the registration plate, to see where it is, to track your driver. Your phone runs out of battery, you've got no power bank, portable charger. What do? You can't do anything. So I highly, highly recommend getting a portable charger, because you can literally charge it overnight. You can charge the portable charger throughout the whole day before the show, and then you know that it's ready, you know it's fully charged. So if you see that you don't have much charge left on your phone, simply plug it into the portable charger and you're done, you're sorted. Like, it's just so obvious what to do, and I do not know what I used to do without a portable charger, because when you're filming or taking photos, you're gonna not want to run out of power. So just plug, even if you've got like 80%, just plug your phone in. Honestly, they're so handy, they're portable, they can fit in a bag, and you don't need to worry about losing power. So you can have full power for getting home, for catching a train, especially if your train tickets or now concert tickets are on your phone, because half of my concert tickets now are mobile tickets, and they are just so important, and you cannot forget them, because if you do, you will not be allowed in. So definitely, I cannot stress enough, get a portable charger. Okay? Okay. Sorry, half of these tips have turned into rants. I don't know what's going on. Okay. So, tip number 11 is probably one more so aimed at me than anyone. By all means, take photos and film bits of the show, but just don't have your phone out all of the time, because sometimes it's nice to just live in the moment and just take it all in. Because like half the concerts I've been to, especially after COVID, some of the artists have said, like, just put your phones away, let's have one song without any phones out, and it's just been so nice. And I mean, I know I use my phone to vlog and take photos because I just like doing it, and sometimes I just film myself to just show how happy concerts make me and everything. But a big moment for me that is happening in May is well, I don't know if it's definitely happening, but it's on the cards, is I might be getting picked to be JJ's Amaze Me Girl. And for this I thought, do I want to take my phone on stage, or do I just want to give it to one of my friends to like film and take photos of me? And I have decided to not take it on stage with me, just because I sort of just want to be like in the moment and just enjoy it, because it is, like I say, it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. So yeah, I just think I need to do it, and yeah, I just think it would be nice just to have it in the moment and not be like constantly just phone in front of my face or whatever. So yeah, I just think it'd be nice. Yeah, because whenever I vlog, I try and get bits of like every song, but I don't like film the whole song. Like I only do like little bits, or sometimes I'll plan or like which bit of each song I want to get. So yeah, like if there's a standout moment, or like one of my favourite members has a solo that I like, then I'll just do that bit. So yeah. Tip number 12. This one I wish I knew before, like half the time I've done this myself, and then yeah. So tip number 12 is quite important, and it's this: do not always buy merch before going in, because it can get busy. Go during the quieter times. So sometimes if you have VIP, you get a thing called crowd-free shopping, and even that is just not a thing because it gets so busy. So if there's like a limited edition piece of merch, by all means queue for it. But half the time the queues for merch, like when doors open, are just crazy. So if you're not that bothered about support, or you need to go to the toilet, by all means go do that. Go to merch when support is on, or like, I don't know, just don't really go when the main person's on. Just go like during support, in between support, because that's half the time, that's when people are getting a drink, that's when people are going to a toilet. So I definitely think if you want to get a piece of merch and you want to go when it's quieter, but there is a bit of an issue, because if you need a specific bit of merch in a specific size, they may sell out, but half the time they have boxes of like different sizes, so they'll keep putting them out. So definitely buy merch at a quieter time, because it's so much better to do it that way. Okay, so tip number 13. Now this is a really good one that I actually googled and found some of these tips, and this was a great one, I thought. So number 13, find out the timings for the shows. Then you can plan the best times to get refreshments and go to the toilet, avoiding queuing. So most of the time the artist or the venue will post a photo on social media of the different timings, or if you've got like VIP, I'm pretty sure they send you an itinerary for the VIP, but also like the show times as well. So if you find them out a bit in advance, you can then plan when the best time is to get a drink, when the best time is to go to the toilet, because then there'll be less queues. So it's a win-win, really. So the best queues to get a drink, to go to the toilet, like I said, get merch. So yeah, just do your own thing and plan. That's all this video is really, just plan. Okay, so tip number 14. We are nearly there. Tip number 14, yeah. Stay hydrated, especially if the event is all standing. Don't just drink alcohol. So Again, I'm going to add eat a lot as well to this tip, because I learnt the hard way in 2014. I don't know if it was a case of just being excited as well, but I didn't hydrate myself. I didn't eat a lot, and I passed out in a stadium and woke up to a good few thousand people just staring at me, and I had to be taken to the first aid tent, and that was horrendous. That was one of the worst experiences of my life, because I was in a place that I'd never been before. It was just me and my friend, my mum and my sister, but they'd gone to get a drink or something, so we were on our own. And I was out of it. I was still a bit like dizzy. I felt rubbish. I think in my head I just wanted to go home, but I was more worried about missing the vamp set than I was about going to hospital. And in the end, I didn't have to go to hospital because the doctor thought that I was okay. And I just needed a sugary drink, needed some food, and then I was absolutely fine for the rest of the show. But I wouldn't have had to have a trip to the first aid tent if I had hydrated or had more food. So definitely recommend that, especially if it is all standing, because it was all standing on the pitch. So yeah, because I needed food, I needed energy, and yeah, it was awful. Scary. Not an experience I want to happen again, so yeah. Yeah, I didn't like it. My mum to this day blames Josh from Union J because she thought he waved at me and then I got a bit too excited, but I think it was just the lack of food, lack of hydration. So yeah, definitely stay hydrated, eat a lot. Like, even if you eat before you go, just have a big meal, have lots to drink, and you can have alcohol by all means, but just don't have just alcohol and nothing else, because you don't want to get drunk and then just forget the whole concert. So yeah, big tip. Okay, and last but not least, tip number 15. So this is quite a big one. If you suffer with like headaches, migraines, don't like the flashing lights, by all means take medication like paracetamol, ibuprofen with you, because there's nothing worse than going to a concert and coming out with like your head burning, your ears ringing. So just don't be afraid to take a paracetamol, leave it in the hotel and just have it when you get back, because it's a lot easier. But my biggest tip of all, just have fun, enjoy yourself, let your hair down, sing like no one's listening, dance like nobody's watching, and just have the best time. Because I know all of the concerts this year, all of the stuff I have coming up, I will be having the best time, living my best life, living in the moment. So yeah, anyway, that was my top tips for concerts video. I really hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, do not forget to like, comment and subscribe. Turn on the bell, as then you'll be notified every time I upload new content. But for now, this is Redhead Boo signing off. Bye!